This little tablet has transformed my working day. But like so many Apple products, the iPad mini isn't complete until you've added some extras. So after a brief flirtation with the Remarkable 2 tablet, I'll leave a link above to my review of that device, I'm back to full digital note-taking on the wonderful iPad mini 6. I think unlike every other iPad that I've owned, this one is always by my side thanks to its size, convenience, and just that unbeatable performance per square inch of screen real estate. But to turn it into a true mini productivity powerhouse, you need to add a few accessories. As you might expect, there's a huge range of iPad mini accessories out there, from the official Apple accessories to the third-party options, which makes choosing the right setup for your needs pretty challenging. The good news is that I've done a lot of the legwork for you, and I've rounded on 10 brilliant iPad mini accessories that I could not live without. There's something in here for everyone, and I'll link to all of the products featured in this video in the description. We'll start with a case, and I am a bit of a snob when it comes to iPad cases. As great as the third-party options are, I've always just felt more comfortable investing in the official Apple stuff. And I have been through a fair number of these third-party iPad cases in the past, and while they're not bad, none of them quite match the fit and finish of those that emerge from Apple. And the smart Folio case for the iPad mini is literally a case in point. It's durable, functional, comes in a massive range of colours. I've gone for this kind of garish orange version. And it's just so easy to attach. You just open it up like that, attach your iPad mini via magnets. It feels very secure, like I say, very durable. You can chuck it in your bag without worrying. This one I've had for quite a while now. There's a few marks and things on it. It looks a little bit worn, but not in a bad way. I just think if there's any way you should invest directly with Apple, it's the case. And this one is just a must for any iPad mini owner. So number 2 on my list is actually 2 products from this video's sponsor, which is Volta. Volta contacted me recently to see if I'd like to try out their range of smart charging cables and devices, and I'm delighted I said yes, because 2 of them have become firm favourites in my iPad mini armoury. The first one is the Volta Spark, which is basically a charging cable, but it's a bit more than that. And basically you get this lovely long braided cable, very tough cable, with one very unique feature, which is a little bit like Apple's own MagSafe charging. And as you can see, there are 2 different ends. One end on this one has a USB-C, and the other one has this magnetic attachment. And you get 3 adapters for it. You get USB-C, micro USB, and Lightning. So all I need, really, is one charging cable for pretty much every device that I own. And the way that I use this with the iPad mini is that I've taken the USB-C adapter and plugged it directly into the iPad mini, and I just leave it there. And yeah, it gives you this little kind of protrusion, but it's not particularly troublesome. It doesn't really get in the way. And it makes charging this thing so straightforward. You literally just get your Volta Spark cable and use the magnet to attach it. Simple as that. It's also yank free, which gives you a lot of peace of mind. So if this is on the table and you happen to walk past and yank the cable will go, but the iPad mini won't. It's just very convenient, which is what charging should be. And it pairs perfectly with the Volta Giga 33 watt charger. Now this is a ridiculously small multi-charger, and I've got other multi-chargers that are much bigger than this, but this has 2 outputs. It has a power delivery capable USB-C and a USB-A, which is capable of quick charging. So I literally just plug the Volta Spark cable into this, into my iPad mini, done, and I can also charge something else at the same time. So no more multiple chargers, no more countless cables. It's just a super nice, convenient feeling. So check out the link in the description and use code 15ME to bag yourself 15% off your own Volta gear. And thanks once again to Volta for sponsoring this video. I love these products. Okay, so I lied earlier. There is actually another area in which I think you should invest in Apple's own stuff, and that is the Apple Pencil 2. This is obviously because there isn't really any alternative if you ignore the Logitech Crayon, which is kind of education focused. I've not had a chance to use that yet, but there isn't really anything else on the market that beats the Apple Pencil 2 when it comes to a stylus or slash pen for the iPad mini. Now, unfortunately, the first generation Apple Pencil was terrible, but the ergonomics, the charging method, the usability, everything with the Apple Pencil 2 has been turned up to 11. And personally, I think it is suited to the iPad mini better than any other iPad on the market. Just the size of it, everything about it works perfectly with this tablet. Fourth on my list of iPad mini accessories is Paperlike, and I held off again and again and again. I just did not want to put any kind of screen protector on my shiny new iPad mini. Why would I? They make the display feel horrible, they dull the colours, and they're always an absolute pain in the backside to put on. Then I found Paperlike, and I think combined with the Apple Pencil 2, it's the main thing that has made the iPad mini the ultimate digital note-taking device for me. Now, if you're not aware, Paperlike is basically a screen protector with one very unique feature, which is that it mimics paper, hence the name. The effect is genuinely surprising, and it just makes for a much more pleasurable writing experience on the iPad rather than writing directly on the glass. And what's more, all of those fears that I had about screen protectors, which I mentioned earlier, were just dashed straight away as soon as I put the Paperlike on here. And the application process is really straightforward. Trust me, if I can do it, you can do it. So if you're serious about using the iPad mini as a note-taking device, you need a Paperlike. It's that simple. If there's one issue for the iPad mini, it's the lack of a magic keyboard for it. And I know that sounds absolutely bonkers, but hear me out. Now, I'm not expecting to write long-form blog posts on the iPad mini, and I'm not going to use it to replace my fantastic M1 MacBook Air, which is my main writing device of choice. But occasionally, I want to reply to some emails, I perhaps want to catch up on YouTube comments. I just want to do something where I don't have to use that on-screen keyboard. Clearly, I needed some form of portable wireless keyboard for that task, and that led me to the brilliant Logitech Keys-To-Go. Now, this thing is just 6.3 millimeters thick, 24 centimeters long, and it's just a fantastic keyboard accompaniment to the iPad mini. It's got very short travel, much shorter than Apple's Magic Keyboards, so it's not going to win any awards for keyboard feel, but that's not really the point, and it is perfectly fine to use for short periods of time. What's great about this Keys-To-Go is that you can just chuck it into your bag, it's spill resistant, and it feels durable enough not to worry about it at all, really. It's also got 3 months of battery life, which, that's just so convenient. But perhaps most impressive is this row of function keys across the top, which makes this a better keyboard in my book than Apple's Magic Keyboard. And those function keys include things like screen brightness, media controls, and it even has a home button. Are you listening, Apple? When I started putting this guide together, I began researching options for a mini, highly portable mouse. And while there are some great options out there, for instance, the Logitech Pebble, I decided to stick with what I know. And that is the Logitech MX Master 3. This comes with me everywhere, and it probably will for quite a long time to come. There's 2 reasons for this. The first one is the ergonomics. It's the most comfortable mouse I've ever used. If you just clasp your hand around it, it's just very enjoyable to use for long periods of time. The second reason is this little button beneath the mouse itself, which lets you switch between 3 different devices. So for instance, I have this paired to my 16-inch MacBook Pro, the Mac Mini behind me, and also the iPad Mini. And all I do to switch between those 3 devices is press that button. It's that simple. It just makes transferring the MX Master 3 between my Macs and the iPad Mini as simple as it should be. And if I combine this with this fantastic hard carry case, I'll put a link in the description to this as well. It's just the most convenient way of getting a mouse pointer on the iPad Mini. And yeah, honestly, the MX Master 3 is one of my products of 2021, and it's probably gonna be the same thing for 2022 as well. If there's one accessory I've bought over and over again, it's the dreaded power bank. And I say dreaded because I invariably end up losing them or buying power banks that are about as much use as chocolate teapots. So I won't labour the point with this because it is quite a dull topic, but my current power bank of choice is made by a company called INIU. INIU, I think that's how you pronounce it, but it's solidly built. It's got this really useful charging status indicator on the front of it. It's got both USB-C and USB outputs. It's got 10,000 milliamp hours of power, and it's really affordable. Now, there are loads and loads of these on the market, but I like this one, and it works really nicely with the Volta charging cables I was talking about earlier. It's just convenient, and I keep using that word, but that's so important when it comes to the iPad Mini. There's a time not so long ago when I used to throw all of my cables, memory cards, and all the other tech gubbins that I have with me into the front compartment of my rucksack. Now, invariably, that resulted in kind of frantic searches for things, lost items, and just a really heavy bag. These days, I store everything in the Inateck tech organiser. It's been an absolute revelation for me in terms of getting all of my techie stuff in one place, whether it be those cables and memory cards and things, and it just makes things instantly accessible. But the best news is that you can fit an entire iPad Mini in here, complete with Apple Pencil. So if I open it up, grab my iPad Mini, chuck it in the side, zip up the Inateck case, Done. I've got everything then, including the iPad mini, in this tiny little bag. Now, the 9th item on my list isn't the kind of usual shoulder sling backpack thing or messenger bag that you tend to see in iPad mini accessory roundups, but it's my current backpack of choice, which is why it makes this list. It's called the Nayo Urban from Nayo Smart, and I think the reason it deserves a place on this buying guide is because combined with that Inateck organiser, the Nayo Urban's massive cavernous internal compartment, it just means I can fit everything I need for a full day's work into one single bag. It doesn't break my back either, which is a bit of a bonus. And okay, there are loads of options out there for backpacks, but I just love the simplicity of this Nayo Urban. It's got this kind of roll top opening here and just that massive, huge space inside, which for me is perfect. One of the most popular products I've reviewed on this channel is an AirPods Max stand from a company called Benks, which I have conveniently down here. And it's this wonderful headphone stand, which looks like Apple could have designed it. It just looks fantastic on any desk. So when Benks got in touch and said, do you want to look at our new range of iPad stands? I couldn't help but say yes. And I'm happy to say they've done it again, but this time in the form of the iPad Mini Infinity stand. Now at $79.99, it's not particularly cheap, but again, a bit like the AirPods Max stand, it's just so well built. You're getting a lot for your money. I've tried a whole bunch of iPad stands in the past, and I've learned that you really do get what you pay for. And the Infinity stand is built from aluminium. It has this very satisfying tilt and swivel operation here. And the iPad mini, if I just take it out of its case, attaches via magnets to the Infinity stand, and it does so very confidently. So I have no worries about my iPad mini on there. That ain't coming off. And I think if you combine this little beauty with the universal control system in macOS, you've got a wonderful little companion to your Mac when you're sat at your desk. It's also a great way to use the mouse and keyboard combo that I showed you earlier in this video, and it almost turns the iPad mini into like a tiny iMac. I absolutely love this stand. I hope you found one or two accessories in this list to add to your own iPad mini 6 setup. But of course, if I've missed an iPad mini accessory that you rely on day in, day out, and you want to share it with the world, let us know in the comments section. And if you'd like to see more of what I rely on each day to run this business, keep watching for a link to a video where I reveal my full daily tech carry. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you next time.